Ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, I'm interrupting you from your Monster Cat experience you're all talking about in the chat. You're really excited about that one. Owned. Now you have to listen to me. My name is MANDEM. I'm here for ETF2L 6v6 Summer 2023. We're in our week 4 now. We've got TLR and MANDEM fighting against each other. MANDEM currently sitting top of the standings. They've got so many more points as TLR thankfully managed to take a few last week when they faced off against Swift. Once again, I'm called MANDEM. J-Max is here suffering through production. And then joining me, got Ben PL. Hello, Ben PL.
Hello, it should be good. Yeah, it's happy to be here again. It's getting to that sort of time of the season now, week 4. Like the table's sort of shaking itself out a little bit. We're maybe getting more of an idea of sort of how teams are looking at, and it's sort of stabilizing out a little bit. And like you say, there's been differing fortunes for these two teams coming in so far. But yeah, on that on top side, MANDEM coming in clean, up leading the top of the table. Very strong start from them, you've got to say.
I think you have to I think usually what you look at, especially the first 4 weeks of the season, you usually go strength of schedule, but they've also played against 6 of these points that they have on the table right now are against Witness, which I think still is kind of not many people were expecting. I think basically no one was expecting. We didn't even cover it on TFTV because we kind of assumed it was a foregone conclusion that game as well. But yeah, I mean, they managed to take all 6 points against Witness. Now they're sitting at the top. You can see Witness actually at the moment. They're sitting in third behind the Frenchies. But we'll have to see how that shakes up. MANDEM, once again, I think they're just kind of looking to extend the lead a little bit, set themselves up for a better seed, come up playoffs. Yeah, spoken to some of the players backstage. They do want to. They're looking to take the whole thing. Ben PL, if you want to take the whole thing, you have to go through Flick.
Yeah, you got to say that, right? If they're gonna take the whole thing, beating Witness in week 1 and ending that absolutely monstrous unbeaten streak is not the worst way to start off. Must be a pretty big confidence builder going forward for them. And yeah, on the other side of the game today, we're going to have a TLR who had sort of differing fortunes. They've honestly not looked too bad. They've had a couple of really close losses in these previous weeks, like we covered last week. They played Frenchies in 4th Fence, and they had a close run thing on Sunshine and didn't quite make it work. But yeah, they're sitting near on the bottom of the table. But yeah, maybe kicking themselves a little bit from some of these earlier weeks where they've missed some opportunities to get some points against perhaps easier opposition.
Yeah, I think for MANDEM here, I think if you are looking to challenge to the top of the table, I think they are. I think you kind of look at the player strength across the board. I think there should be some pretty simple points for them. I believe you can see it at the top right of your screen. We're going to play Sunshine and Gullywash tonight. Sunshine, we're starting off on it. One of the slower maps usually, but it is also a map where if you have, I think for me personally, it always usually comes down to the demo man. We have Fancy facing up against Zamzer. I'm actually not sure. I do believe this is a little bit of a mismatch here. We start off there. So Zams is kind of looking to prove himself. He wanted to get into Prem last season. He chose Flick to do it. And unfortunately, there's an incident that happened. He lost out. Now he's back in the game, trying to make it work. You look at the stats on your screen, Zams does have way more air shots per map. And I think that's the most important. Is the Zams frag video? It's going to be mint.
Yeah, what matters? Position doesn't matter. If your frag move is good at the end, you can get those big clips, those big directs coming in. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. But as we say on Sunshine, it can always, a lot of these holds and pushes can come down to what the demo man can do, what output they can have, and whether they can stay alive and deal the damage as they come through.
Yeah, I do think. I think you look at this. I think you look at MANDEM. Fancy definitely is one of those players that you are looking at. Just try and sort of steer the ship, so to speak. I think he does appear to be one of the stronger players. I think his rookie season was incredibly impressive. Took home Demo Man of the season, his very first season playing an insane playoff run, carrying both of the teams he played for, and honestly took Flick to a semifinals that it felt like really honestly should not have been his. But now it's on MANDEM, and I think we look at MANDEM, you have to look at the scout combo as well. I think the scout combo is kind of disgusting. Zoe was crazy at LAN and then kind of ended up disappearing for a little bit. Now back. And, going crazy on these scouts. I think Boulder as well, obviously. I think we talked about him a lot. He won Rookie this season. I think he's the scout at the moment. I think that he's closest to Tomas in regards to how good he is at the game. And I think this is kind of a team to help take him a little bit of a step further.
Yeah, it's another good comparison there. Yeah, Boulder's been huge so far, and I've got to say as well, there's the Soldiers also. I've got Haunch coming back from CSG has also doing very good work, particularly in these earlier games this season. Has been very consistent, and yeah, he's good. Put good output through the start of the season so far. But yeah, I've got to say this team, like they beat Witness. They're a well done unit. They're all pulling their weight, and yeah, there's a reason why they're top of the table at the moment and having such a good run.
Yeah, I think across the board, their DM looks incredibly solid. I think if you take a look at TLR on the other hand, some newer names. I think both teams, honestly, they're filled with a lot of players without a whole ton of experience, which you might see on some of the other rosters. I mean, you've got Flick, who obviously at this point has been around for a really long time. You've got Mathis as well, another player, Patchouli. Sort of that core of them have been around and played together as well for a really long time. But then you take a look at Ryan. Played decently on Soldier last season, and you've got Zams as well. Hasn't played Prem before. Corey, neither. We're going to have to see here. So I need production to tell me if I'm getting baited or not about whether or not we're going live. Nope. There's an RR in chat. Never mind. Yep. So, Ben PL, this is our time. You're taking a look at this game. What's going to happen here? Sunshine, what's your prediction?
Yeah, I've got it we can see in the chat here, there's been one of the most stacked predictions I think I've ever seen in the favour of MANDEM. And I've got to say it's with good reason. However, with the odds that Twitch chat were giving, I think I had to put some on the other side onto TLR. I think they've not looked awful in these first few games. They've had some close runs. They've taken maps off teams, and I think there's a chance here. I'm going to go for it here on at least on map 1. Maybe map 2 might think something different, but I think they might come with a surprise.
Yep, I entirely agree. MANDEM are frauds, and they are about to lose hard. Give me some points. As we are live once again, ETF2L season 45, it's summer 2023, 6v6 Premiership Division week 4. We got TLR, we got MANDEM rolling out to middle. Already is Zams eating a bit of early damage so far. KN sitting on top of Tetris. There we go. The Soldier Bomb comes in now straight onto Patchouli. Decent damage actually dealt, but you can see how far TLR there now just on the back foot. Corey already down. Flick on the low ground as well. Haunts has forced the rest of TLR back. They have one player in Ryan behind. Haunts should get taken down in choke here. He's like 1 HP running around. Finally taken down. Ryan wants to go in off the distraction there. Doesn't find any kills. Now 3 down for TLR means that they cannot stay in on mid. Haunts is still behind him. Lobby, actually, look at this. It's an absolute crunch in Lobby, and that is a delayed wipe there for TLR. Disaster for their hold. Flick on Sniper has to salvage everything.
That was a huge play. Their Haunts actually went behind on the mid, served it through that choke, and yeah, they're all retreating. There's 3 players coming into the judge. They think it's clear. They're just going to run back to last, preserve their ad, but they say no. Haunts comes in, huge damage, and they're going to take this ad into last already. There's picks coming through. Patchouli's only just spawned. There's Captain coming through. Boulder getting used and on the point, but yeah, there's not much can be done here, surely. Push continues to come in. More shiny players in the point, and we've had a pause, but I presume that the point is about to be capped.
This is... at the next LAN, I will do so many crazy things if this point isn't capped right now. There's absolutely no way. I'm looking at the situation, trying to read it. What possibly happened? I guess if this KN rocket hits Flick in a way to like shoot him into the point, but surely he just gets like one shot if he lands there, right?
Yeah, there's 2 scouts and a med in touching distance of the point, and I think there's like a couple of nanoseconds before the point flips.
Yeah, there's no way. This has to be a cap, surely.
Yeah, what a start as well though. Like coming in,
yes,
just over a minute into the game, they get that huge rocket explosion in the shutter, and they take out a full wipe over on TLR's side, coming out of the trap so fast. That's the perfect start that could have hoped for here, MANDEM.
It's such a nice play from Haunts as well. He goes behind, doesn't really make it work. Tries to go in again in choke after the mid-fight towards the end, trying to catch out Patchouli there. Almost goes down. He's at like 2 HP, but managed to slither his way into Lobby and catch them out for a 3rd and final time. Does such a nice job bombing in super early into the mid, drawing TLR back. They never really had any opportunity to really get any high ground because KN was super fast as well. And yeah, MANDEM really just put on the pedal to the metal. They make it work, and they're already on last. This is the biggest point capture I've ever seen. But also because Haunts, there's another thing, because he gets those late 3 kills into Lobby, the spawns are delayed, right? They never have 6 on last hold. There we go, we're on pause. And funnily enough, Flick got 1 shot. Who would have thought?
Yeah, not too much of a surprise there, yeah. Coming in, holding Disad with no demo coming in. is always going to be rough. But here we go, round number 2.
Yep, rolling back into it so far. We're going to have to see TLR. I think, honestly, last mid, this kind of lost to lack of high ground. They were never really able to get in this time around. Both demo men electing to choose the same rollout they did last time, but now TLR, they're taking enemy Tetris. See Mathis already way faster on the high ground. Instead, it's going to be a cafe trade right now as they're both rotating around. But look at Haunts and look at Ryan, both of them in behind right now. Julie already down to half HP, but it's Piggles who manages to surf away into cafe, just
20
barely
HP.
alive, but he gets a pack, and that's Haunts in onto Patchouli. Flick and Jams follow as well. Corey, Mathis, everyone wiped, and MANDEM pull it out once again.
Yeah, huge roll there. Piggles so close to going down, but just about keeps it in form. Gets down 20 HP, gets the pack, and yeah, the sacks come in for nothing. And we've got a very similar situation again. They're only trapping out last. There's soldiers here. Only Ryan alive in spawn. There's 5 down. Spawners coming up now. They've got a sniper up. They've got a pyro up. Try and burst out of this door, but seconds being capped. It's full death.
Yep.
Oh, they're getting mulched.
Yeah, this is TLR wanting to try to make something happen. They do get the force out, but there's so many players just on the point already. Julius wants to bomb in, but he doesn't get it. Zams ends up getting taken down. That's the pause right there. But MANDEM so far looking strong, heavily outclassing TLR here, especially just on the mids.
Yeah, Sunshine, any percent speed run? Anyone? 3 minutes, 2 rounds? Maybe because we started late, they're trying to get the schedule caught back up again. So, great start there for MANDEM again. 2 clean mid fights. I'm gonna hope to make it 3 out of 3 on this one. Similar to previous.
Back onto middle already. You can see Mathis already just kind of this time around taking top. But you can see what Haunts is playing, right? He's so far back. The bomb out of Piggles this time. He does end up going down, and that's no medic for the MANDEM side. Now, TLR, they're in the enemy flowers here, and they're taking a lot of damage. They lose Ori, and the bomb in from KN as well. Huge rockets there onto Flick, and that's Patchouli falling as a consequence. Boulder is taken down, and yes, the medic of Piggles goes down, but the re-aggression, MANDEM lose their medic, but they have such better positioning. TLR really caught there. Nice
such a late
play.
spawn as well, right? Unfortunately, going down, last man to die on the mid in the enemy flowers. Going to be a little bit of an ad built up here, but yeah, very nice work in that counter fight. They lose their med, but don't panic. Piggles is taken down for the first time this game, but doesn't matter too much in the end. They sweep up the frags, taking this mid fight, and they might be walking in. Sends it back out a little bit from second here. They're not going too aggressive. Ad is actually only about 10%. Maybe the spawn didn't come in too late for Patchouli. They'll get that built up.
It's interesting right now because it's even Ubers and we're on Sunshine, and everyone loves a nice little Sunshine second stalemate. You can see KN, Hawks both posturing around choke, trying to make something happen. They now bomb across. Decent damage dealt to TLR, and they're actually yielding a lot of space here. You can see now Fancy gets some stickies up on top, and it's allowing him to walk across. There's no one with Zams, and that's a demo man down here for TLR. Without this demo man, it makes it so much harder for them to hold. They have to just retreat out a second. There's even Uber advantage. Now the Uber trade is going to come in as well. Flick is finally going to get flashed there towards the end, but it's so many low health bars here in this post Uber. It's only Boulder. Finally, there's a little bit of bomb coming across out of Haunts, but the rest of the Uber is cleaned up by TLR. MANDEM getting over aggressive as they step forward, and the rest of the team not there. Fancy wants to go in, wants to get the Patchouli kill, finds a Flick instead.
Yeah, nearly gets Zams as well. Zams taken down super low, 50 HP. But yeah, like you say, exactly, it was a little bit too over aggressive there. They haven't capped second yet, and they've already got 3-4 players running in through that lobby. And they're not up that many players. It's still a hard task. Sunshine last. Say it's a tough nut to crack, and they paid the price for it here. They got Zoe in a forward spawn, I believe, walking out, see if we can get something on the sniper.
Trying to walk in, you have to be so careful, right? Zoe on land especially. So powerful. You see the damage is dealt. They're so far back, they just really so scared. They can't get in. They get 1 kill to Haunts now, but look at the health. They're not in any real position to get in at all. And yes, they have an advantage. He's gone already.
Yeah, the sniper, it's so scary, right? You're walking in, and I imagine there's a chance there that that Piggles didn't even see the sniper, just felt the damage, and that was enough to strike fear. They all back out, and at least the good part of that scenario is that Patchouli stays alive. They've still got Uber, and although the advantage is gone, they can still look to reset and maybe try again at this second hold.
How do MANDEM want to try and attack this? You can see the stickies on top of choke now, trying to discourage any soldier bombs by just right-clicking them into the respawn queue. Yeah, see if that actually pays off or not. See, Haunts is posturing around Choke to try and go in. The stickies are dead, but they don't do anything. Instead, Haunts shot back and killed by Mathis there. Nice little follow-up splash rocket to take him down. And that shuts down the MANDEM aggression for now. No real damage dealt to the medic. Let's see how far back he's playing as well. It's Patchouli. They're sitting around. They know it might not be over, but that one pick, they're going towards Valley here. They want to try and peek this, gain some space for a potential sack in, but it's just Ryan losing the 1v1 to KN on the flank, and that shuts down all of the aggression. Now Flowers is open here for MANDEM. They're looking to come right back in themselves.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of pressure here. They've got combo coming in through Valley, and there's soldiers actually both pushing in onto the platform, doing a fair bit of damage here. Look at the low HPs over on TLR side as Ubers are exchanged, and yes, it's a man up here for MANDEM, but also the health advantage, health healed up in the end for TLR. Flick's doing his best here, but they've had to back out to get those health bars back up and not bleed any more players. They've had to go back to their own last, and nice little conversion there, new exchange. As lobby's been taken very fast here.
I cannot believe Boulder lives there in lobby. Absolutely insane. Runs into 4 people and just somehow stays alive. Mathis wants to bomb this top area here, but unfortunately he just gets completely denied. Ryan has to back down as well, and you can see the HP of the heavy of Corey is so low. Now Zam's going down. There's not really anyone able for TLR to properly hold. It's 2 soldiers, and Mathis has the escape plan out. The counter bombs coming out of Haunt, and it's so much damage dealt. Ryan is in the air, and unfortunately you cannot hold the point. It is 3-0 for MANDEM. They're looking so strong.
Yeah, nice little drive. We don't even need the Ubers to come in on these last pushes. Make it work without them. That's 3 rounds in a very, very quick span of time here. It's been a convincing start, putting my prediction in the bin. So, yeah, you've got to see TLR. Something's got to change here, because at the moment they're just getting completely outclassed.
I think it definitely just starts with the mid. They kind of seem to have a little bit of a solution onto Pickles, but
never mind.
Immediately gets the kill into Julius there, and that is a dead Demo Man for the start of the mid. Now, actually, decent trade kills coming across, but the HP on TLR, it's just not there. Look at how low Patchouli is. Still wants to stay in this mid because he has 2 other players here. See, Mathis as well has the high ground, and it is MANDEM playing a little bit on the back foot right now to scout on the point. Gonna have to rely on Fancy Elf hitting some pipes there, shooting across. Decent damage dealt there onto Flick, but it's not enough. Now spawners are gonna come right back in for both teams.
Yeah, I respect Patchouli there, staying in, even at 20 HP, decides we need to keep in the fight, we need to have a shot at taking the mid. Fancy huge pipe there into Bates. About as close range of an air shot as you can get, but they all count as Ubercharge comes in. The force out onto Patchouli. Piggles looks like he might be getting away into Cafe. Just about safe, and now the re-engage can come in. Ubercharge looking to be taken across the board. Pickles is still, but it might even have to use here actually. The scout and Ned, last 2 alive, but Julie's taken out. 1 scout left alive to be dealt with, and that is a clean up here. And there's no use out of Pickles. Doesn't get forced the whole time. Doesn't even take any damage the whole time.
That was insane stuff. It really felt like the scouts of MANDEM just come together there, clean up the enemy team. The Uber out just didn't get that much done. They didn't find any frags. They didn't get any positioning out of it either. They were just kind of stuck on the low ground after the Uber faded, and now it is such a big advantage for Piggles. As you said, took no damage. Now he can use this Uber to come into Lush. You can see them peeking already top right, as gun being set up by Corey. Flick on this sniper has to hit the headshot. Miraculous in order to get in, as the Uber should come out of Piggles. There we go. We're in onto last already, and the stickies have been put down onto spawn now. Sentry gun has to be taken care of. His Flick is up on the heavy. Sentry now down as a kill onto Mathis as well. Decent cap time here early on. Both soldiers are down, and this heavy is getting spammed down by all of MANDEM. Only Corey left alive. He's not able to hold this point. Clean round conversion there for TLR. Just going down. MANDEM looking strong.
Yeah, nice work there. They got a bit at the point, and then yeah, when they got the gun down, they just played the picks, just walked around. Didn't matter that there were sticks on point, and just run around, get all the kills, sandwich in those spawn doors, and yeah, take that 4th round. Could be a quick one here on Sunshine. Rolling out to the 5th and possibly final mid-fight, and like we say, TLR, we said they have to do different. We've got a soldier landing in their choke already, but we've gone Flowers this time. Going to be safe from that original one. Kayan's going in again. Might get onto Chewy here. Oh. Very nice work.
It's tough middle now. Tough middle hit for MANDEM. Just kind of making it work, right? Kayan pumps in. Mathis combines for 2 there. 1 rocket. Pickle's actually not with his scouts at all, currently hanging out in choke. But it's such a difficult mid to play, right? You lose Patchouli at the very beginning. You see Mathis now has to run back, needs to be with his medic to try and regain some semblance of an uber charge here, as Boulder is building with Pickles this entire time. Weird middle. But KN with the re-aggression is so nice with it. And now TLR trying to reclaim second. They have to watch out.
Yeah, they bomb one into choke. Doesn't get anything, so they just bomb the other soldier straight onto Tetris. Works really. If they're not choke, they have to become flowers. It looks like Valley is the target. This Uber Fancy's actually launched into the sky with that Uber charge. It's bought a bit of time here for the defenders. TLR losing Ryan in the process to get the force, but off the back of it, that's probably not the worst outcome. As they're trying to sack in now, maybe going to try and get onto Patchouli as soldiers come flying into last here. Watching Kane in very, very aggro. They're getting cap time. There's no one near enough for the point.
The Heavy now finally is on it, but he's so low. He eats so much spam damage, and MANDEM combined. They just waltz in anyway and steal the round from right under TLR's noses. They had 1 pick onto a soldier, decide to go in. Really nice aggressive play there coming out. Good synergy as well, knowing that they can spam down that Heavy. And that's a clean 5-0 for MANDEM. TLR honestly looked like there was 0 fight there.
Yeah, it was a rough one, right? I guess the mids don't help if the first 2 rounds happen within 3 minutes. It's probably a big hit to the confidence there. But yeah, at the end, there's a couple of these dry pushers coming in, and like maybe you could think they could have done better on some of these holds. And yeah, in the end, like not a very resilient showing there from TLR. But MANDEM got us in their praises again. They've cleaned up on map number 1. Still one to play, but they'll be pretty happy with that one.
I think especially what I was seeing from MANDEM more than anything is the soldier aggression out of Haunts and KN looked incredible. The sort of the ability of the whole team, the synergy of them coming together and fighting these fights makes me really worried for TLR coming into Gullywash now, which is on map number 2. But you have some logs to pull up on your screen as well here in a couple seconds. But, I mean, yeah, you look at these logs and are you surprised, Pen, at all? Look at this.
Oh, monster numbers all across the board. Love to see it.
Look at Boulder's logs. He's 12 for 3. 15 assists.
Mega performance from Boulder. And yeah, like we say, they did a great job, particularly some of those scrappy fights there where like it looked like things might be getting heading over towards TLR's way, was the one sweeping up and dealing the damage. So yeah, what could you do against someone who's doing that? Like,
yeah, honestly, it didn't really feel like... I feel like normally you look at these games and you're like, it might be rolls usually right, but there's still usually... There's like something that you as a caster can grab onto and be like, no, but they did this, that they just need to keep doing this, and they'll like have a chance. But like this felt like they kind of got outclassed in every single role. It was team diff, it was player diff, it was strat diff, it was everything diff. And for TLR now, I feel like you get rolled 5-0. I think if you get rolled that bad, I think you're usually the brain kind of works in a way where you just kind of forget that it happens. You kind of need to do that. Go and take it fresh. Gullywash does play a little bit different. It's a much smaller map, so you have less ground to cover if you want to push, capitalize off of funny little picks. But that feels like, honestly, more than anything, it probably just works in the favor of MANDEM, right? You look at how they won that Sunshine game, and it was a lot of pushing in off singular picks, knowing that they just had the confidence and the DM to outplay TLR in those situations. And if you want to win on Gullywash, you want to have a fast game on here, that's exactly what you need to do, and you can do it so much more. This map really enables that kind of play.
Yeah, they've shown in this first map, yeah, they can even, yeah, like you say, one pick, even if it's like no Ubers, full dry push, they'll just send people in, and they're making it work. Like you say, they swept over TLR with such ferocity, and yeah, the confidence that comes with the fact that they know that they can win their fights, they know that they're well coordinated enough that they can make those potentially not optimal, but just they're going to work these pushes. And like you say, on Gullywash, particularly a map where the soldier coordination is of high importance, and we're looking confident against Haunts and KN. Did a very good job on Sunshine. I'm sure they can do something similar here on Gullywash.
There's also, I think as well, Gullywash can be hidden scout map, as it's kind of usually it's the one map where we're like, no, this is soldier demo territory mainly, but this can also very much be scout map if you play it accordingly. And I think Boulder, Zoe as well should be good enough. You saw how scared TLR were. Zoe played sniper for all of like 1 minute. But that minute, he did so much work on that class. I think he's really, really good at sniper. Really had his debut at Arcadia where he pulled this out, and it was such a difficult thing for all of the teams, really, honestly, to deal with at that LAN.
Yeah, it was more the fear, I think, than anything else with having the sniper up. Like in this previous map, but yeah, like if you've got a competent sniper on the other team, like you've got to respect that. You can't be overstepping, and that means that it makes the job for the rest of the snipers team so much easier because the places where they have to be stood to be not in those sight lines. So it's a powerful asset to have if you've got someone on your team who's confident and got that reputation.
But it honestly felt like that was just a trend overall, right? TLR, I mean, it felt like MANDEM were pushing in situations where they might not push against Witness, simply because they felt like, I mean, honestly, at times it felt like TLR just kind of respected them too much. They were giving a lot of space over to MANDEM, who were just kind of taking it for free without really, in situations where they probably should be exchanging at least 1 or 2 players. They're just kind of able to get in, get superior positioning, and TLR weren't able to combat it. So now on Gullywash, honestly, if there's anything I want from this TLR team is for them to just like turn off the nameplates and just run at them.
Yeah, they've got to do something to build that confidence, and yeah, they've got to, even if they're not feeling confident, they need to act confident. And yeah, I completely agree. I think getting in their faces, maybe trying to be a bit faster and not conceding so much ground, like we said, the amount of times there, like dry pushes were coming into second and they conceded the point of nothing. But there we go, map number 2 underway. See if TLR can fight back after a very, very confident win in that first map from MANDEM. And map number 2 are now underway.
We're back on Gullywash here. Right now, you can see both teams rolling out still. Julius, quite low HP there as Zams is now the high bomb comes out, and Mathis here. Ryan as well, immediately in on the enemy side, but he's not really able to go in and help Mathis. It is still 2 kills onto the blue scouts here, but KN on his lonesome is basically soloing the enemy of TLR, and now he can come right back in the projectile classes for MANDEM, destroy TLR.
That was a huge surface open pickles at the end. If you caught that, the bomb comes in from Ryan right at the end of that fight. Really wanted to get onto that med. It gets 1 rocket, but surfs all the way around onto the point into safety. And yeah, very nice mid coming through. It looked a bit scary for a moment there, getting trapped over an elbow, but they make it work in the end. And yet, full Uber advantage again goes the way of MANDEM on this first mid fight. And it's all too similar story.
It feels like it's such a decent start to the mid, right? You get those 2 scout kills and it opens up a lot. You force them super far back, but unfortunately, it was just kind of both the soldiers for TLR. They're not really supported by the rest of the team, so now they're on last. You can see the sentry gun is up, but it's already taken down. Kill onto Ryan as well, but Haunts is dead. But does it matter? Boulder stands on the cap, and that is a round 1 for MANDEM in Mach 10 speed.
Yeah, there's just nothing on point. Boulder's Ubered on point, and the flash the Uber runs out, and he's just there. You can just cap. There was no pressure there, but I guess it's always hard holding with such huge disad, but not the start at all that TLR would have been looking for here. See if they can have a similar start to the mid as last time. At least they got the picks before, and they're straight in onto Haunt. And Zoe's down as well. Nice picks here coming out from TLR. This is looking a lot better this time. Oh, huge shot from Mattis coming in. He's just fancying Higgler's last 2 alive. There we go. That's the turn of pace that they needed.
There we go. Finally finding an answer. Finally finding a decisive mid-victory. But unfortunately, for TLR, it is still even Ubers. While they did manage to kill most of the players, Piggles somehow survived, and he's back on last. He's going to have even Ubers now. It is on TLR to try and figure out how they break this last hold. It's a pyro up, the sentry gun behind him, and a lot of spam into River here. You can see Ryan already. He's gone down through water. This seems to be a standard answer. This kind of hole is try to just force 2 players onto under. You can see Corey and Ryan both sitting there ready and waiting. Haunts and KN, both soldiers. Now the bomb comes onto the point. The cap almost comes through here, but it's Corey and Ryan both going down. Now Haunts with the counter bomb goes in, but looking in behind, Flick just runs forwards and he grabs the round from under MANDEM's noses.
Really nice play there from Flick, and it just shows how dangerous this last point can be. Even losing 2 players to get that cap time, the point just becomes so much more dangerous there. And yeah, the Flick sneaks in completely unnoticed, gets onto the cap, and actually equalises the score 1-1. They're back in the game.
This is a round taken for TLR, the first one in a while, but this time around on mid, KN responds, instant takedown onto Patchouli here. Ryan responds for a kill onto Fancy, which means that mid is pretty much over for MANDEM. Once again, it is just kind of TLR taking the mid victory, but what do? They manage to answer Zoe in the back as well, and that means that now Patchouli is dead, and look at Piggles, 75%. He's building on top, and TLR now have to watch out for this Uber. It's going to come out of MANDEM here. They're going to want to take it in fast.
Yeah, they're going to think about actually taking second here. They've got a lot of cap time here to TLR, and Uber charge up for Piggles, but boy, they're backing out of retreat. Think better of it. They get a lot of cap time, but it's not going to be enough. It's so risky when there's that Uber charge staring at you on the other side. And yeah, make the wise call there. No, Sams goes down.
This is huge for MANDEM. You can see already with that demo man taken down, it is Fancy bombing straight into the enemy choke. He actually doesn't find anything. TLR, they managed to slip it out for now. Boulder wants to peek it as well, but it looks like the MANDEM Uber doesn't quite make anything work. Zams has saved it a little bit. There's one soldier in through drop down here. Mathis trying to make something happen, but unfortunately he's losing the DM fight in choke though. Haunts is dead, and now Patchouli, 95% Uber. This is an advantage here for TLR. They're going to have to go in through mid, and honestly, they probably don't really want to pop it.
Yeah, there's lots of passive players here on MANDEM's side. They're sending the scouts a little bit forward here. Nice bomb coming in.
Ooh.
Ryan does a lot of damage, but doesn't get any frags for it. As Sacks come back in, they're really going to try and get this Uber charge off of Patchouli, and they do so. Zam's taken very, very low down. And Flick's the one chasing through into choke. Decides better of it, actually. There's a lot of players staring and not much Uber charge left. So yeah, nice work there from MANDEM. Get the Uber charge out. Only lose one soldier.
Yep, and
now he adds back the other way.
Now we're playing ping pong. I say it's Striker
Scout behind.
getting a little bit aggressive here. Now Corey, he wins the 1v1. He's in behind, but KN spots him and just easy 2 rockets that scout down. The threat is entirely eliminated, and that toggles MANDEM to try and get ready once again. Gonna have to use this Uber through choke and try to find something of it. We stop playing this ping pong game here. 60% here for Patchouli. Should this Uber fail, it's just an instant counter push. It's Ryan going down already, but look how far back TLR are. It's both soldiers dead though. Haunts look to try and retake here as they're going into second, get as much ground as possible.
Yeah, it was a much more profitable push than the previous 2 that we've seen. They're getting 3 picks for it. That's going to get them a lot of stead towards second point here. Gold players caught it forward spawn. Actually, forward spawns are coming through. Uber charge used out through shutter straight through the stickies, and they're straight in. Flicks already here into choke. Going to catch KN, but not going to catch anything else. Haunts in the back line trades 1 for 1. But now ping pong continues. But Nicholas doesn't have for a while yet. If they want to use the Uber's the numbers advantage here, TLR can maybe think about edging onto mid.
This is a funky push. The health isn't really there for TLR. Actually, I say it's TLR coming across rather MANDEM. Just don't really have the players in, no soldiers to take any space now. They lack both scouts and they have to hold on to second here. It's still ad for Piggles, but are you going to push without scouts? Inso not there. Makes it tough, makes it difficult here for MANDEM to realistically do anything. I think this is an even Uber out here for TLR.
Yeah, 85% on Patchouli. And yeah, it was a very nice push there coming across. The Uber charge didn't get too much, but yeah, when the even the Uber afterwards, there were a player up, decided to take the space that was given to them, and now they're looking towards big door. They've got players. Oh, never mind. The flank goes down in lobby.
That Zoe absolutely running over the enemy flank there completely shuts them down. They wanted to get in with a flank in behind, and this allows for TLR. They're going to have to pop the Uber because MANDEM is just in through choke, and they've lost 3, make it 4 in this Uber trade as Patchouli gets caught out in the end as well.
Disaster.
Disaster strikes for TLR right now. There's a spy up on Corey. Do you think this spy does anything? There's no way.
You've got a dream, surely, right? I don't think it will, but you've got to believe that we live in the one of a million universes where this can happen.
I mean, he is uncloaking, walking in behind, but just gets spammed down.
5 people looking at him.
Do you think Turret's playing on KN's computer? Thoughts?
Yeah, it's possible. I guess what we have learned from that is that MANDEM do have headphones. They've got their sound cranked up. Gonna be audible gamers hearing the spy decloak. Because it hasn't really cost them anything, right, TLR? They're still going to have him back up on Pyro.
But it's still a disad here for Pickles. He has 100%, and the sentry gun's taken down before the Uber even comes out. Look at how much space MANDEM has taken. They have not popped the Uber. We are paused once again with a lot of MANDEM members suspiciously close to the point, Ben.
Yeah, this isn't looking too great for TLR, is it? I know Patchoulie's 85%, but it's looking so hard. Ryan and Zams are going to really have their work cut out of them here, coming in through water. But yeah, like you said, they're getting so much space out of Shutter. Like, none of the protocols you go to Shutter when you use, but like they don't have to. There's nothing forcing Pickles to use. They just go through the Shutter and walk in, and they get so much space. It's such a better Uber. In fact, by the time we pause, Pickles still hasn't actually used. So
yeah.
The Uber is going to be a much better Uber, but they're still like capping the point, and there's an Uber charge to come out yet, and so much space taken. Like,
Zams is staring at a soldier on high ground as well as like a scout and everything. This is really hard for him to stay alive here. He kind of needs to if he wants to continue. If TLR want to be able to continue to hold this point, it's very tough for TLR to stay in this round, to be completely honest. And yeah, I mean, as you're saying, Pickles, he didn't even have to pop going in. They take down the sentry gun so early, they can just come in for free here. Now that Uber comes out as a dead demo man for TLR. So much cam time comes out as a consequence. And that is a nice, clean push there for MANDEM. Dominant stuff.
Yeah, nice focus to Zams there as well, behind the points. Well, like you say, Zams really had work cut out for him there to hold on to that point. But yeah, when you focus down like that, there's nothing you can do. And Smooth Cap comes through just in the nick of time before Patchouli gets the Uber charge up. 2-1 now for MANDEM, taking the lead once again, and to maybe play fairly aggressive on this fourth mid fight.
Fancy is running a train on TLR right now into the beginning of this mid. So much damage dealt. You can see the soldier bombs instantly dealt by Inso and Boulder as they take them down surgically, strategically. And it is Patchouli who has to killbind in order to spawn with his teammates at an appropriate time, I say. But even though he killbind, he's still spawning 8 seconds, 7 seconds later than the rest of his team.
Honestly, I'm not too convinced that this is going to make the biggest difference of when the medic spawns here on Patchouli. Maybe a little bit, just for getting that 450 on the heavy, but like, look at the space that they have here, MANDEM. They still have an Uber charge to use. They're going to use it now, and they're going to get 2 picks, maybe even a third on this last soldier as well. As Ryan goes down, demo down behind the point, and it's cleaned up. There we go, lightning round coming through there for MANDEM.
Yep, I assumed that, as I scroll up into the chat, I assume that, yeah, that's probably TLR taking a few sips of their horny goat drink. As they need the power, now more than ever. Inject it into their veins directly. Don't do that. I don't think I'm legally allowed to say that, but we'll do it anyway. I'm not getting paid. As this time around on mid, once again, you can see Julius dropping down so low at the very beginning of it, and Striker is taken down here, but so is Ryan as well, because Haunt is in behind doing work to TLR's backline. They do not have the HP to realistically contest mid. You can see Zams, he wants to walk across, he just gets spammed down by KN and Piggled, as now there's just a scout, can't go anywhere, they're stuck in their own choke, and this is another victory here for MANDEM.
It was a good effort there from Mathis right at the end, trying to salvage onto Pickles. Gets one really nice close direct, but unable to land up with the second. Nice defense work there from the remainder of MANDEM's combo. But yep, consolation prize. Patchouli does get out this time. Isn't forced into committing killbind on the way out.
It's tough though, right? It's even Ubers here, but what are you gonna do? Like, you can see now already MANDEM once again posturing in through lower. This seems to be the preferred strategy. You can see Inso Haunts walking down. They're going to try to force the point here. The spam is already coming out, but you can see Julius holding a little bit of a different spot, and that is instant 2 kills onto the enemy side here. It's both KN and Striker going down. Watch for the off classes here. That's Haunts 3 down. You can see MANDEM. They are far back. So you have to watch the spawns now. Is someone going to play an off class? It seems like they aren't.
Yeah, maybe. The problem is they've had to give up so much space, right? Maybe if you lose 1 or 2, you can maybe get off class up, but losing 3? Well, I say that, but TLR don't seem too keen on the idea of getting out. They're
Ooh.
What is it?
Because of that, we get a Haunts on Spee, just for now. Checking off classes, and that is Zoe instantly dead once again. As he runs forwards here. Haunts still in spawn, trying to spy check for all the different classes here, making sure there's no one up on any funny business as he's finally back on Soldier here.
Yeah, we'll see. Is Zoe going to be the one to go for the funny business?
Ooh.
Yeah, on the sniper.
Have to see now. He's going to get spy checked there by Flick. As he is on spy. He's got the cool little portal reference. But yeah. They're going to know he's on spy, or on sniper rather, which is pretty big for TLR. You can kind of see already Medic posturing, trying to make sure it's Patchouli. Standing behind this pillar, standing behind the dispenser. Stand behind the dispenser. As Zoe right now kind of scoped up in main. Peeking across. Not really going to find much.
Oh, he's
the Demo Man instantly shot down as a soldier dropping down as well onto Julius there. He just goes down because no Demo Man. That's MANDEM claiming the round 4-1. Once again, there was one round for TLR, but they are on the back foot once again.
Yeah, it was nice work there in the push with that sniper because they used the distraction of the cap threat underneath. Gives so much space. The sniper comes in, takes down the Demo, and yeah, they're able to cap the point for free. If they're playing so close to shutter on even, that's always the danger.
Haunt at the beginning of this mid runs a train on the enemy Demo Man, but it is Fancy eating dirt at the very beginning of the middle. This time around, Haunt is so far back, but look at Ryan, wants to bomb in. Zoe as well, caught in a corner, but there's so much damage down, and now Haunt can come in once again. Julius down to 1 HP. Flick is not going to get air shot, unfortunately. He was really high up in the air, and I got excited for a second, but Patchouli has managed to weasel his way out for now. KN has the height here, but there is a scout friend with Patchouli, and now KN running around to the back line. It's a middle captive for MANDEM. Patchouli has to rush out for this soldier in the backside.
Yeah, nice mid again coming through. It looked good with the picks coming through early from TLR, but you don't make it work again. And with this threat of the soldier in behind, it's going to be hard to hold into second as well. And taking a fight with Ryan. Actually getting ganged up on here, but Ubercharge comes in across the point. Ubercharge's exchanged. Frags coming through. 2 players dropped.
That's so unfortunate. Such an unfortunate trade for TLR. They're just nowhere near each other there for that trade. It's one scout solo, and the rest of the team is just not anywhere close as now. It is just MANDEM knocking on the door for the 6 points this game, as it honestly felt like TLR had very little chance. Mathis only one up. Rest of the spawners come in, but the round is already capped. And that is 5-1 for MANDEM. Taking it quick, taking it easy. They look so good doing it.
Yeah, nice little offy speed run there from MANDEM. It was a little bit dicey though, to be fair. At the start of that game, we had a bit of a trading back and forth at the midpoint, and TLR definitely made a better account of themselves in the start of this game than they did at any point during Sunshine. But yeah, like again, the quality shone through, and MANDEM just with a better, well-oiled machine in this game, and deservedly are going to be taking the 6 points here.
I think if they had a Junkrat one trick playing an actual skilled character, then maybe they would have had a bit more of a chance on TLR. But unfortunately, TF2 players aren't that good, and just low skill unfortunately results in MANDEM taking the dub here. Really well played by them, honestly. There's so much impressive team synergy coming out of it. They really just feel like they're comfortable pushing off of each other and playing around their aggression, really making a work happen, getting shit done, as we like to say here on TFTV. Good stuff out of them. TLR, hopefully they can bounce back. Not the easiest of opponents, as I desperately tried to scramble, see what game they're playing next week. Hopefully it's a little bit of an easier one. So they will be playing against the Faust team next week. This should be better playing against the Wheelchair. But yep, that is MANDEM looking strong, asserting themselves top of the table.
This is one of those ones where, like, obviously beat Witness first game, and these are the sort of fixtures they're going to be wanting to clean up, and they've cleaned up today. If they're going to be wanting to contend for that top spot, which I'm sure is their ambitions, particularly after, even if not before week 1, certainly after week 1.
Agreed. We'll have to see if they manage to keep themselves to that title, as Premiership seems to be heating up a little bit. I think logs are in the background. You guys looked at them. This is a 5-1 roll, so there's not that much to talk about, I'm going to be honest. Look at the damage dealt.
Pickle's never died. That's maybe something.
Yep.
So.
Unkilled medic, infinite KD. A lot of damage dealt by KN as well. Good stuff out of them. Ben PL, this was a fast one. I'm going to be honest. Sometimes you get really long games for no reason, and they're really slow and they're really boring. Sometimes you get really long games, but they're super exciting and very close and good. And then other times you get games like this, where they're really fast, and it's hard to talk about things because one team is clearly superior.
Yeah, there was moments of excitement, I've got to say, particularly like in that second map, knowing Gullywash TLR really like it. For a moment, there was a small part of me which thought there was maybe a chance coming back in. They get that round. They had a couple of good pushes around mid, but yeah, in the end, they never found their footing again afterwards. MANDEM stepped it up, kicked into gear, and yeah, in the end, took this one pretty solidly.
Yep. I think, unless you have any last words, Ben, that should be all for us for now.
Yep. Good to get signing off.
Yep. Once again, guys, land.tf, sign up for a chance. You play the online qualifiers for Insomnia 71. Free tickets for the whole weekend. You can come for free, kind of. You still have to pay for travel and stuff, but you can come. Makes the trip a lot more affordable. There's sign-ups on land.tf. Also, this weekend, hugs.tf, charity event. Stuff is happening. I think JMax knows more than I do, but hugs.tf, charity event. Cool things coming, guys. Also tomorrow. It's Thursday. A lot more games on Thursdays. But that's it for us for now. I'm really tired. I'm going to go to bed. Follow us on all the platforms. Follow me on Twitter as well. Follow Ben PL somewhere. I don't know. Add him to Steam friends.
Twitter. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
go to his Steam profile. Comment on his profile.
I think I'm private,
and then add him.
Yeah.
Yep. And then go watch Simon Rivka TF just posted an unlisted demo for Man Frag video, and it's amazing. You should go watch that. And that's it. Take me off the air.